welcome to an Insta reaction number 3. About 4 or 5 hours ago, I'm on my way to the gym and I just happened to check Instagram and I follow Mike Portnoy and it said now released our new single, which is going to be the 3rd single now that they have released, called something Messiah. I have to look at it again. I can't remember the name. All I know is I was like, oh, they released it. Okay. Well, I guess it's time for us to see if the 3rd time is the charm. Because if you are just joining this channel or this video for the first time, and this is the first time you've come to my channel, there have been 2 other reactions I have done, which I'll put a card up here so you can go watch those if you want, for the first 2 single releases that they've had for this album called Parasomnia. And I'm not going to give anything away there so that you can go back and actually watch those if you have not already watched those. And also in those videos, we'll tell you a little bit more background so I don't go rambling on in this video as well about my background with Dream Theater. But in summary, basically I have been listening to Dream Theater since 1994 from the Awake album. So I'm one of those old school motherfuckers. And always will have a place in my heart for Dream Theater. I'm looking forward to hearing this 3rd single drop. And I'm ready to see what it is that they have in store for us. If it's going to be completely different than the first 2, if it's going to be pretty much some of the same things that we've been hearing from Dream Theater as of late, even with the new Mike Portnoy edition. But before we get actually into the song, there are 2 things I need to tell you. Number 1, if this is your first time coming to the channel, welcome. We mostly do a lot of music reactions here, but there is also a lot of counseling videos / friendship videos, everything else. And we would love it if you would have a music reaction or some other thing that you would like me to react to. And that's what all this means over here. So if you watch the introduction video of this channel, like if you go on the channel's main page, that introduction video that's there will explain everything you need to know about how you can submit a song, and will explain all those things that are over there on my left. And then you can hopefully submit a song, we'll react to it, and we'll have a good time. We have all sorts of fun kind of ideas. It's not just only plain reactions. We have a lot of contests that we do here. And to speak of that, you can also win free sets, free songs that you can submit that you don't even have to pay for. You just win it by just coming and being a part of the live streams. We have live streams typically right now on Saturdays and Mondays. And so if you want to join those, you have a chance to win some free reaction songs or reaction sets. To come up next couple weeks, we have what's called the Casey Kasem's Top 40 2024 version. And that is where I count down my favorite songs that I have gotten from this channel, top 40, and I just go by songs of 5. So we go 40 to 36 and so forth, all the way until I make it down to 5 through 1 and my favorite song of 2024. We have done a 2023 version of this, and then we have also done a first version of this a couple years ago where I went 40 songs of all of them since this channel has been around, which has been around since 2018. We just passed our 6-year mark in December. And if you're there, you can win some free song reactions. You can win some free set reactions. And if you're wondering what a set is, go watch that intro video and you will know. And what's interesting about that is for the Casey Kasem's Top 40, if out of the top 40 of all the people that submit those songs, I will keep track of who actually has the most on that top 40. And if they have the most songs that make it on that top 40 list, they win a whole free set of 5 songs that I would react to in one live stream. So again, I don't want to talk your ear off too much about that, but go check out those other videos. There's playlists, all kinds of things you can search. And looking forward to seeing what you might bring to the channel, because we do need some diversity here. So I will say the second thing before we get into the song is that there is an official music video, but because Dream Theater, Leprous, and all these other bands, Haken, are all on the same label, that label is not really friendly when it comes to doing reactions, and they block everything in their mother. So I'm not going to do the video. I just downloaded the actual, I think it's the cover of this actual song. It might be the cover. It's not the cover of the whole album. It's just the cover of this song for this single. And I'll have that there while I listen to the audio file, because I don't want to take a chance of it getting blocked Later, I'll watch the official video. I don't really get into videos that much, and especially just them kind of sitting in some dark, lighted place, and they're just singing and acting like they're playing, so it doesn't really do much for me. All right, without further ado, let's get into this new song, and once I see it pop up, I know it's something Messiah, but we'll see what the actual whole title is. Are we ready? Let's go. Midnight Messiah. Got a little bit of alliteration going on. Okay.
That's why I'm like I'm trapped.
Interesting.
I keep thinking that I'm waking up, but I'm still in a dream. It seems like it's going on forever.
Sounds like a little repentance kind of thing.
For real? How do you really wake up? But I finally woke up.
Obviously about some sort of dreaming, which is following the album
To this real place.
theme.
The land of the dead.
Okay. It's not delay, but I told you I'm a sucker for the delay sound. I just love that, and that palm muting picking. Lifting shadows off a dream is what I'm talking about when I say delay. Okay, I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. It's not that loud. But if it gets really loud, I'm gonna turn it back down. Okay, it's got a stream of consciousness kind of feel. With some more heaviness. Okay, as I am. This song is kind of following their more heavy side of things. It is seeming like a dark album overall. This is totally as I am for this album right now. I thought he was going to actually do the actual rhythm and melody from As I Am. Kind of is very similar. Which, by the way, I've seen nothing about this. I didn't even know they were releasing it, so this is legitimately the first thing I've heard or known anything about this song. I do like the clean piano in the background. I do like that patch by Jordan. That's a famous Portnoy fill that he even did on Drumeo like 100 times when he did the Nickelback song. He did that like fill like 6,000 times. It's like me saying basically a lot when I talk. I say basically too much as a filler word sometimes. Sure, the solo section is going to come up soon where they go off a little bit. Like that. Oh, it goes. I think the first time he said again, that's what I thought he was going to say. There it is. Always said I love those fills by Portnoy. Especially, like, I mean, it's the same fill that he does on the... Okay, hold on a second. Wow, arpeggios, smashing them. Uh-oh. Got a very Innocence Faded section here. The end. Or not Innocence Faded, I can't think of the title. Okay, interesting section. I would say that was very not an As I Am solo, where it's like balls to the wall. It's less balls to the wall than As I Am, but it has a very similar feel to As I Am. Sounds like Viper King. Not quite, but it's got that. Or Room 137 or whatever it is, has that kind of feel. Whoa. This is root of all evil. Very root of all evil. Even the It is a single, so I'm guessing that's the end. They're probably not going to go in the 13-minute range. Because, like, in other songs, they might go into this little... But not for a single. Okay, so we have our third single in the books. All right, so let's talk about some first impressions of this. If you are like a huge Dream Theater fan, you're probably going to want to turn this off right now. I know this will never happen because my channel's so dinky and my views are even dinkier than that. But my wiener's big. That's beside the point. Dream Theater, if you ever watch this, and if you go back to the first video that I watched, the first single that we listened to, I said this. I said the last couple of albums, especially, I would say even since Portnoy left, most of the albums have been just kind of the same old stuff. And that I have always been hoping for some songs to go back to the early days of the jazz-infused rock moments, bluesy stuff that made up Learning to Live and Images and Words. And I would even say When Dream and Day Unite was such an underrated album. I'll say it every time because it was. The recording on it sucks. But the writing of the songs, And Awake, Metropolis, Part 2, just going back to their Berkeley days. But ever since we got Train of Thought, where they went balls to the wall, heavy, and that was the point of that, it was kind of like, I feel like Train of Thought just like put them into the, we're going to go more into the heavy riffage side of who we are, which I like that side. But I liked it when they blended it more with the jazzy music theory, Berkeley kind of stuff that they just have gotten away from for a very, very long time now. And this song is no different. The 3 songs that have been released, like Distance Over Time, which that was the last songs I reacted to from the other album. I didn't really react to anything from A View from the Top of the World. I did react to Alien, but it got blocked and it's not back up because they haven't unblocked it. So, but after that, this Dream Theater, if you guys ever watch this, you guys have just lost your mojo. I'm sorry. I mean, I was hoping for each. This is now the 6th single drop that I've heard, and you followed almost, in my opinion, exactly the same formula you did for Distance Over Time that I did my reactions to. You had the first one, Untethered Angel, which I would say was very much like Night Terror. And then you had the second one, which was Fall Into the Light, which I would say was just like Broken Man. Very similar. And like, I like that one a little bit better than Untethered Angel. And then this one I would say was just like, what the hell was that one that they did? Starts with a P. I think it starts with a P too, not Parasomnia. I can't think of the freaking name of it. The third single from that album of Distance Over Time is very similar to this one. Heavy, kind of more, Metallica-y kind of thing. It was almost like you just went back and you guys have just gotten fucking lazy. I'm like so freaking lazy. And just like Distance Over Time, this song of the 3 singles is the worst for me. It was just so blah. It was so boring. It was so... You guys have just fucking clocked in your ticket and you're just kind of like going through the motions. And I said I was worried about this on the first album reaction to this, first single drop to this album, was that I was suspicious of what we were going to get this album because Mike Portnoy's gone for like 13 plus years or whatever it is, comes back and they have the whole album finished within like a month or 2. And it's like, you didn't put a lot of thought into it. You just, and he even said it in interviews. Yeah, we just got back in the studio and just said, let's write how we feel. And it's like how you felt for the last 13 years, which the driver of the music, even though Portnoy adds his flavors to it, obviously, is John Petrucci. And John Petrucci, I think, is the heart and soul of this band more than anybody else. And why I love them so much, especially in the early days. And he's just clocked in, dude. He's just checked in, man. He's not doing shit anymore. His solo album, the last couple times, I would even see LTE3 when it came out, had a little bit of like, energy to it that was a little bit different than what he's been writing in Dream Theater for the last 13 years since Portnoy left. But this is the worst of the 3 that I've heard. This is just boring. It's just absolutely uninspiring music to listen to from this band. And I kind of have clocked in as well when it comes to how I feel about this band in their current situation. I've said this before. They will always have cemented who they are in the Hall of Fame of progressive rock and being the poster boys. And I will always have a place in my heart. They'll always be my favorite band of all time if I had to choose one to a gun to my head. But they just have been uninspired. And so now that we have 3 of however many songs are on this album, this is what I said the last 2 reactions of these singles, is that I kind of expect this. These are single drops, so they're probably not going to be the most in-depth because they got to hit a certain time limit, which I think this was like 6 or 7 minutes. And that means that I think there's going to be 2 or 3 songs on this album that are fucking awesome, just like Barstool Warrior, just like, in other songs, Breaking All Illusions was a great one. There's 2 or 3 songs now on every album that are just freaking awesome, and I can't wait to hear those from this album. But after this, again, I just feel like that's what we're gonna get. We're gonna get 2 or 3 songs that are good. I'm pretty solidified in that belief now. I had like a little bit of hope before in the other 2 reactions. But after hearing this, you guys have just turned it in. And I'm not saying that to be a dickhead. I'm not saying that to just be not nice or whatever, or you have to do with the fans. You guys, again, have done what you need to do. But Dream Theater, if you ever watch this, you're just putting out shit now. You're just putting out stuff that is just so run-of-the-mill. There's no inspiration there. And the whole idea of Portnoy coming back was like, sweet, maybe we're going to get a reinvigorated Dream Theater. So far, I don't hear anything. And the fact that you guys wrote this album in 2 months, you just didn't put a lot of time into it. You just kind of put, checked in, clocked in, and now you're just kind of sitting at work on the factory line. And that's what you're doing. And so it's sad. It kind of sucks, but that's what I feel. And if you're a Dream Theater fan that loves this stuff, I get it. You don't have the history that I have, and you're going to have a different viewpoint and a perspective than maybe I have. But as an old school Dream Theater fan, this was the worst of the 3 singles that have been released, and it just gives me no hope. And I'm kind of solid on my belief that there's just not going to be anything more than a couple songs on this new album that are really good. And they will be good, and I can't wait to hear those and add them to my tracking lists and my playlists. But these 3 songs so far have done zero inspiration for me, and that's just the way it's going to be. So, sorry. Hope you still come to the channel and hang out and give some reactions of your own. I mean, bands like Leprous and Haken and Caligula's Horse and these kinds of bands, in my opinion, are the new wave of what's inspiring and bringing forth. And if you come to the Casey Kasem's Top 40 2024 version, you're going to hear some of that shit, because a lot of good songs in 2024 that I heard because of this channel. These 3 are not it. So this is the captain saying, peace out.